Today's question for Dr. Arielle is, I don't feel like having sex, like at all, but I want to feel like having sex. What do I do?
Yeah, so I think the first thing is that, you know, I hear the distress, right? The I don't know what's going on and I feel like I need to, right? And I feel like something's wrong. So, the first thing I would say is trying to understand all the pieces of your sexuality and understanding, you know, what's happening to your body and, you know, in your relationship, in your sexuality to see what is actually happening for you, right? And so when we're assessing sexual health, we're talking about the biopsychosocial model, right? So biopsychosocial model means biological factors, right? So that would be your physical health, right? Things like, for example, if you're going through menopause, right, then your hormones are changing. There might be things going on that impact your sexual health. Maybe there's thyroid issues, right? So doing a thyroid panel with your doctor would understand, okay, maybe I'm feeling like my libido's lower than usual. Maybe it's changing. Maybe there's other things that are changing that have an impact on my sexual health. And that I would say go to your primary health doctor, right? So your physician, so your medical physician who would be able to help you and say, okay, let's run some tests and let's see what's actually happening, right? The psychological factors are the pieces like, for example, if there's a lot of stress happening in your life, right? Or if there's anxiety or you feel depressed, right? Those things would have a huge impact on your sexual health, right? Because if you're feeling depressed, for example, then you might not have interest in having sex, right? You might not be feeling pleasure. You might not feel like there's a need for all of those things to happen. And for that, I would say go to see a mental health therapist, right? So that would be the first step in terms of understanding what are the stressors in your life, right? What are the psychological factors that have the impact that are changing right now how your sexual health is. And then the third piece is the relational factors, right? So the social factors. So, for example, your relationship, right? Your romantic relationship. If there's upheaval there or changes, big changes, for example, if the two of you are going through financial stress, right? That often has a big impact on couples and how they perceive the stress and how they're dealing with it in their couple, right? And then that would impact your sexual health or your sexuality together in terms of if you're fighting more, you're most likely not wanting to have sex, right? And or if there was something like infidelity, right? That would also have a huge impact on your sexual life together with your partner. But there's so many more factors that would come into play in all those three things, right? Three areas of your life in terms of the physical health, your psychological health, and your relational health. That would have an impact on your sexual health. So I think the first step is really acknowledging what's happening to you right now, taking a minute to assess it all, and then seeking the appropriate resources.
Got a question? Drop us a comment and we'll find you an answer. Hot tips are not intended as medical advice. This information is to provide you with knowledge and information to discuss with your medical provider.